Hello. It's the 17th of... It's what? Oh, the 7th of March. Oh, my Lord. I was like, what? Oh. It's 6:17 p.m. And that is Mount Vernon time, Seattle time, Pacific Northwest time. Okay? All right. All righty. Can't seem to get anything right. Anyway, recently there was something that ended up in my email box. It was from one of those places that was a petition to sign about Raven Symone. She is a mixed woman who played the little one on the Bill Cosby show. Yeah, it was really cute. A little twinky nose, and she just really cute. And she grew up. And anyway, she's now on The View. I like The View, by the way. I liked it when Rosie O'Donnell was there. I like it. I love Whoopi Goldberg, and I love Barbara Walters. I think Raven Symone is a good addition. I think she's pointing out some things that are important issues. Maybe something to look at. Maybe nobody else thinks they're important, but to her they were important. And one is she does not want to be identified as a color. She wants to be known as a human being. She's human. I understand that principle, believe me. I also understand the reason that when you're filling out a form for school, driving, work, it asks your ethnicity, your ethnic background, all right? Anyway, why? This shouldn't even happen. It should mark, are you human? Or are you non-human? If you pick non-human, that means that you are probably a working dog or cat. I would seriously worry about that. But anyway, it's okay. It's okay. So anyway, she used the name Watermelondria, I think. That was a hard one to even remember. But or maybe it wasn't because I remembered it. But she used it as an example. And would she hire somebody like that? No, she wouldn't. But you know what? Either would I. Um, what has happened to the Black American is that they feel the need to sound, I believe, African, when none of the names that they pick are African. And I'm not saying all of them because I've heard some names that are definitely African and are absolutely beautiful. And why if they choose to do that, they do not get a book on African names to name their children. You know, I believe that a kid, when they're named, you gotta be careful when we name our kids. I'm serious. Because they get made fun of in school. They get a rash of shit. And kids have it hard enough. And besides, you want an elegant name for your child. An elegant name is more powerful. And so is the Dick and Jane. But the point is that elegancy is what a baby should be. You know, name them after the great grandfather. You know, name someone out of the Bible. Name someone out of Dr. Seuss anymore. I mean, that's how the names have gotten so odd. You know, that nobody can spell them. Nobody can understand why you would want that. Nobody. West, East, South, and North Africa have a problem with Black America. Black America thought we belong to your continent, so therefore, you know, we should be accepted. It doesn't end up that way always. Believe me, I know. I've heard some horrible stories. And I think, which is sad, what has happened to a people. It was basically brought over here in slavery. I mean, it started over in Europe. Slavery's been around for many years. It wasn't America. It was the people who brought their slaves with them. And then the slave traders. I mean, it isn't like an American woke up one day and said, I'm going to have slaves today. No. It started over in Europe. And before Europe, it started over in the Middle East. It has always been around. I mean, Egypt was one of the biggest slavers there were, and Rome. It goes on. And I mean, good grief, they were from all over. Somalia, Nigeria. Of course, they were probably called something else back then, but the point is, they were from all over. Slavery is not new. It has never been new. If you look at the history of slavery and the history of America, you want reparations. Well, for this one, you better go to reparations clear back to Egypt or before that. Or if you want it up to date, then you go to England, who had quite a few, but then decided to get rid of that, and some other Europeans took over that business, and they opened up and settled everywhere, and they had their slaves. Were they treated right? Some were, and definitely the majority probably were not. I have history where in Mississippi, my grandson's family, his father's family. His father wasn't raised in Mississippi, but his mother was, and that they are still in the same plantation that they were slaves on, literally. During the war, after the war, the carpetbaggers completely ruined the South. The slaves didn't have anywhere to go on this particular plantation. Now, this is not an unusual story, because it happened to many. And they stayed and they worked. Were they free? Yeah, but they really didn't want to leave. For many reasons. One, no place to go. Second of all, they may have liked the people that they were with. So they ended up being just part of the property, basically. That's how they were looked at. Anyway, years later, my grandson's family, the plantation owner, finally died. But he left the whole plantation to that family, the main family. And they're there. The old house is still there. I don't know if they've refurbished it yet. It's going to cost a lot of money, but they built another home there and a couple homes there. It's a huge area. And they have nothing bad to say. That's them. They've also never lived in the slums of New York nor California, New Jersey. I could go on and on. It's bad. It's really bad. The history is what we need to learn. The real history. I'm mixed with everything, I swear. I'm the American mutt. So, one part of my family came over here only 6 generations ago. It had nothing to do with slavery. Not one thing. But then another part of that family that they married into did. But the other part didn't. Families were divided in half during the Civil War. It was one of the bloodiest wars there were. Lost so many people. I mean, there is, I mean, I don't know how people stand it, but, and then there's the people who mean well, who try to help, and end up believing, and they're confused about who they are and what they are. Makes you wonder. But anyway. Symone was basically saying that name your child a name that she would hire. You want to be hireable. You want to have a resume. You know, if you give a child a name that nobody else in the world even wants to know, except her own, you have basically alienated yourself. We want what she wants, what we all want, that have mixed blood in us. My grandsons are very, very mixed, and so are my kids. But what they really want is to not be white nor black. The black people, some of them, have skin tone issues. Kids are too white. Kids are too black. And the whites have skin tone issues. I don't know. I think everybody's being a little hard on her, on Miss Symone. I feel that she's well educated, for one. She's not stupid. I like the way someone spelled it. Stoopid. Stupid. Really? And you want to be taken seriously? My name, of course, is Sean. And I've known many Seans, and they're all boys. And I think I'm the only girl named Sean. But I'm not. There are lots of girls out there named Sean. Some say, oh, it's Irish. Well, it is, but it's also Hebrew. What's in a name? S-E-A-N, they say, is the girl's spelling. S-H-A-W-N is the boy's spelling. Or maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. But I do know that my name, S-H-A-W-N, is Hebrew. So, yeah, I wonder. I wonder about a lot of things and why this girl's being slammed and everybody is so defensive about their own. I don't think it's her that's the problem. I think it's the people who started the petition. I think they're the problem. That's how I see that.